The Federal Minister of Families, Children and Social Development was in Winnipeg today, chatting up all the things she sees as positives in the federal budget. I spoke with Karina Gould earlier today in our newsroom.
Well, look, this shouldn't be seen in isolation from a number of other measures that we have put in place. So the grocery rebate is important, and I know from speaking to families who receive it how much they do look forward to it. So I think understanding that, we can't do everything, this is an important measure to help offset some of those costs.
It won't go far.
But it's in addition to some other things that we've put forward. So one of the other items in the budget is automatic tax filing. And so we know in order to access most federal benefits, you have to file your taxes. And so for low-income Canadians, sometimes that's a barrier to accessing these benefits. And if those taxes are filed automatically, we're going to see more people getting things like the Canada Child Benefit, getting things like the HST rebate, getting things like Guaranteed Income Supplement that are going to go further to help them. And one of the things that I would say, particularly for families in Manitoba, is the importance of the Canada Child Benefit. And it's indexed to inflation, so we saw last July that this goes up to almost $7,000 per child, per family, for the lowest income earners in our communities. And it's in addition to the Canada Dental Benefit, right? So I was at the University of Manitoba this morning, touring their dental faculty, but also talking about what this means. And, there's been almost 6,000 children in Manitoba that have accessed dental care services since December 1st because of the Canada Dental Benefit. So there are a number of issues that we've put in, or items that we've put in place to address the affordability concerns that need to be seen in that broader context.
The NDP is taking credit for the dental benefit because of your,
Well, we're the government that's delivering it, though. You got to be in government to deliver it.
And you got to have them to stay in government.
But I think it is important because, we're seeing what this means for folks. And what we announced in this budget is that it's going to be expanded by the end of this year to include children under the age of 18, persons with disabilities, and seniors. And, by the time that this program is fully implemented, that's an additional 9 million Canadians that will have access to dental care.
If you ask families who are on low income anywhere, but particularly in Manitoba, the number one issue they're going to say is affordable housing. There just is not enough of it. What do you say to them about that?
Well, we're absolutely working on that. So recall that last year's budget was really a housing budget, and we put in $10 billion.
We haven't seen much of a difference here in Manitoba in terms of affordability.
But we're working with provinces and territories and municipalities. Just 2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister announced the Housing Accelerator Fund, which is going to work with municipalities to really reduce those barriers to making sure that affordable housing is being built, that those rent subsidies are being provided. We had put forward the Canada Housing Benefit, which was $500 to low-income renters across the country. So this is absolutely a priority for us as a government, and we're working hard to make sure that we're not only supporting people who are in housing, but getting more housing built, particularly affordable housing.
Let's talk safe water, because we still have 2 First Nations in Manitoba that have boil water advisories in effect. Why are they not gone now, as was promised years ago?
Yeah, look, we invested billions of dollars to lift all boil water advisories on reserve in Canada. Over 100 of them have been lifted. There are always, additional infrastructure challenges that need to be met, but we are committed to making sure that these are all lifted, and we're working in partnership and in collaboration with First Nations communities. That's a promise that, we made, and we're committed to delivering on.
So when will those 2 Manitoba First Nations have drinkable water?
Well, I know that work is ongoing, and it's in partnership with those 2 communities as well. So I can't tell you exactly when, but I know that we are committed to making sure that the infrastructure is there in community, and that safe water is going to be available. And just on water, one of the other exciting elements in the budget was the announcement of the Canada Water Agency, which is going to be headquartered here in Winnipeg, knowing how important fresh water is for all of us.
Karina Gould, thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure, Janet. Thanks for having me.